If you guys want some coins for the new Fut Fantasy promo, please check out MMOXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself 5% off your order. This supports the channel greatly. So what's up guys, my name's Ash and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video guys, I've got some updated 4222 custom tactics and player instructions for you. But just before we get into today's video guys, I'd very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up, as that does really help with the YouTube search. Also subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside guys, let's get right into today's video. Okay guys, so starting off with the custom tactics. For defensive style, I like to have this on balance. This is because it gives us the greatest control over our defense, where we're able to press when we need to press and we're able to drop off and be that more conservative when we need to be. So balance is super balanced, as you'd probably guess, and super controlled, so I do very much enjoy using it. Now moving on to the defensive width guys, I have this on 45. The reason for this is so we can primarily keep a narrow shape when we are defending, but at the same time we still have that natural bit of width to cover the wings, so when your opponent tries to go down the wings for a cutback or something like that, you're also able to cover that space too. Now moving on to the depth guys, I like to have this on 65. This is so we can push our defensive line a little bit higher up. This is so we can win the ball back higher up the pitch and create those easy chances. But at the same time though, the defensive line isn't too high to the point where you're always getting through balls, so it's a nice balance but also attacking minded defensive line. Now moving on to build up play guys, I suggest using this on balance. This is because it is the most suited for all the types of FIFA 23 gameplay you might experience, whether it is fast gameplay, slow gameplay, laggy gameplay. There's so many different types of gameplays that you might experience, so balanced is the best one in my opinion. Now moving on to chance creation guys, as always I suggest you use direct passing. The reason we use direct passing is because it allows your attackers to bunch up against the defenders, meaning you can do those isolation plays which are super overpowered in this game. It also gets the best movement out of your players, which is lacking with other tactics. Forward runs is also okay as it pushes your players further into your opponent's box, but I find it to be a little bit ineffective just for my style of play. You guys might like it though. Moving on to attacking width, I have this on 48. The reason for this is obviously the 4222 is a narrow formation, but at the same time we don't want it to be too narrow to the point where our players are sat on top of each other, so 48 width has been super effective for me as it allows us to have that balance. Now moving on to players in box guys, I have this on 6 so I can get players into the box to create those chances of course, but we don't overcommit our entire team to the point where we get counter-attacked, so 6 has been really good. As for corners and free kicks, I have these both on 1 because I do have a corner kick routine that I use which requires me to have these on 1. There is a link to that in the top right hand corner of the screen. Now moving on to the plays you want to use guys, in the two striker positions I suggest having a bit of a balance between the two, where you have one player that is better at finishing and the other player being a bit more creative. So I like to go for that finisher creator dynamic, but it's completely up to you guys what you do there. Moving on to both wide cams guys, you're going to want those winger style players, the players with pace, the players with that dribbling ability, the players that can shoot, basically do a bit of everything. You're not going to want to use those trucks in this position because you're going to find it difficult to create chances, as these are the main playmakers. Now for the two CDMs, I like to go for a bit of a balance between the two, where I have one more defensive CDM, somebody that's a bit better defensively, and then I have one more box to box player, somebody that's good at attacking and defending, just so we have that balance between the two players, as I do find that to be very effective. You're not going to want to use two attacking players or two defensive players because it causes a massive imbalance in the midfield. Now for the fullbacks guys, I like to have a bit of a balance between the two, where I have Roberto Carlos, who is a bit more technical and better on the ball, and I have Cafu, who is a bit more defensively solid. I like going for that balance as I feel the defense performs better as a result. That's just a personal preference thing though. If you guys want to use two attacking fullbacks or two defensive fullbacks, it's completely up to you. As for the centre backs, you just want these to be those quick meta players, players with physicality, players that are medium high, players that are fast. There's not really too much to say about them. And the goalkeeper, I'm just using Chesney for chemistry. Now for player instructions guys, on the two strikers, I like to have them both on stay central. The reason for this is we don't want these players drifting off to the wings, as we've already got players to cover those areas in the cam position. So we need them to stay central so they're always in the correct positions. I actually have them on mixed attack because I think it is better for build-up play. If you have them both on getting behind, it's very one-dimensional, and these two strikers can be very disconnected from the rest of your team, which is not always a good idea against those top-end players. So I do suggest mixed attack, but if you can't cope without getting behind, then be sure to use it, of course. Moving on to both of the cams, I have them on get into the box for cross. The reason for this is they can be kind of like passengers sometimes if you have them on balance crossing runs. So get into the box for cross means that they're always going to make those transitional runs to get into the penalty area. It doesn't mean you always have to cross the ball to them or anything. It just means they will be making those movements to get more involved. So it is a very effective instruction to have on, and I don't really touch anything else for them because yeah, I don't like to restrict them all that much. Moving on to both CDMs, guys, I have them on cover centering. That is it. The reason for this is I like the CDMs to get more involved in this formation these days. I don't like having them on stay back while attacking because the attackers, like the cams and the strikers, feel very disconnected from these two CDMs, and I don't really like it for the flow of the team. So by putting them both on cover center, it means they do get involved when we go forward a little bit. And then we've obviously got Pogba, who is like more attacking than Jorginho, but Jorginho is still okay to go forward a little bit. It's just we've got the balance in the work rates where Jorginho is automatically going to think to be a bit more defensive and Pogba's going to think to be a bit more attacking. That's why I like the work rate balance I've got here with the instructions. Now, for both fullbacks, guys, I have them on stay back while attacking. The reason for this is I don't really need to commit any extra players forward because I've already allowed the CDMs to go forward on the attack. So it's better to keep these fullbacks back so we always have 4 at the back and we're able to deal with any counter attacks. That's why I do this anyway. If you guys want to make this even more attacking, you can put one on balanced attack and overlap to increase the width even more in this formation, or you could put them both on, you know, like balanced overlap. It's completely up to you, but I just leave them on stay back for now. As for the centre backs and the goalkeeper, I just leave these alone because I don't really see any point in changing them. But yeah, guys, they're my custom tactics and the player instructions for the 4-2-2. If you guys have enjoyed or found this useful, I'd very much appreciate it if you could drop it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you are new so you never miss out on any videos like this one, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you are notified when a video is posted. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.